Welcome. This is another technical technician video brought to you from Diagnation. And today on this screen you can see, I'll tell you what we have here. I had a 2010 F150 with a 4.6 liter come into the shop, and I was given the ticket, and it had a complaint of a misfire or a rough run and a check engine light on. I pulled codes and I saw a P0305 on the scan tool, and I went to the misfire monitor on the Autel scan tool, which is pretty good. It's similar to the IDS, and it looked like it was cylinder 5. I could see it on 5, so I decided to bring the scope into the equation just as kind of a validator to make sure it's 5, and also see if we can get an idea of what's causing the misfire. It is a Ford, and obviously coils are under suspicion. They have a high failure rate. So basically, you can see two channels on the scope. Channel blue is a trigger. Basically, it's a ignition primary for coil 1. I did attenuate the channel on this Pico scope because they will most likely go north of 200 volts. Channel C is a delta sensor, or a piezoelectric sensor in the tailpipe of this truck. And as you can see, we have a major anomaly. So we're going to kind of analyze a firing cycle. We're going to go and look at that 720 degree window of 2 crankshaft revolutions where all cylinders should go through their combustion process. And we'll start with an inside look. And as you can see, I will go into here. The firing order we're triggered on 1. The firing order for this engine is 13726548. And if I started out with, I'll put the cursors into a fire cycle, and I'll partition them. We'll start with 8 ways because it's set up that way. We have 8 ways, and we fire 1, 3, 7, 2, 6, 5, 48. We see an anomaly here in this section of the 8 partitions in the firing cycle, and we know the scan tool told us it was cylinder 5, and there's a good chance it is. But if we wanted to validate that with the scope here, how would we do this with what we see here? We know that right here, about here, is where cylinder 1's exhaust valve opens, and something along here would be the exhaust pulse for 1. But it's kind of messy. It's hard to see, to really understand. It doesn't really stick out like a sore thumb. Some engines do more so, but with the V8, there's a lot of combustion events. So it's hard to start our reference point to run the firing order from here like we would 1, 3, 7, 2, 6, 5. But it is pretty close to 5. I'm going to say to myself, well, what else would we bring into the picture to give us a lot more accuracy in our diagnosis? So there was always that good connector in the engine compartment of a Ford. I think it's real easy to get to, usually in service information, where we can current ramp the coils. So I'm going to bring the coils in right here, and we're going to take a look, and we're going to start to see something. Channel B, the red panel, is the coils, and we can see we're a little short on 5. You can see we have a firing order here. We go 1, 3, 7, 2, 6, 5. Well, that's telling us more that it could be our 5 coil. So right here, as you can see, I'll kind of key in just to see the difference between the coil under suspicion and a good coil. It has it's multi-strike, typical of a Ford at idle, and the first strike looks somewhat similar. It doesn't appear to be shorted, and the next 2 strikes are short compared to a good cylinder that the heights are fairly equal. So let's get back to the what we have here, and so we have a misfire on 5, and we're pretty sure. We see a major anomaly in the tailpipe. What if we did something like this? If we went to did a little change over here, and we went to our anomaly cylinder, and we used that as our start of our reference point for our fire cycle. And we did something like this, and we went and we said, we know this is 720 degrees now, and we know this is cylinder 5. And so we know our firing order is 13726548, 137265. Okay, so when 5 runs 180 degrees from top dead center here, right to the bottom of its power stroke. Its exhaust valve would open right here. So we're pretty much on target that this pulse does belong to cylinder 5, as you can see. And it just gives us that much more validation that it is cylinder 5 and it is an ignition problem. We also just obviously want to make a quick relative compression test, maybe put the throttle down, go into clear flood and listen to the cranking cadence. That's very important. But nonetheless, you can see with pretty much good accuracy that our exhaust valve for 5 opened about right here, and there was that anomaly because we don't have a combustion event here. So when that cylinder's exhaust valve opens, there's more vacuum in that cylinder than the other 7 because it never started out with a whole lot of pressure due to its lack of combustion. That's why we have a more southward pull when the 5 cylinders exhaust valve open compared to the rest of them. But these are all the exhaust events for the other cylinders. 5 sticking out like a sore thumb. So we jammed a coil in 5 and it fixed the truck. Anyway, thank you very much.